Yo, what's up YouTube? Back with another video. Today, we are going to be talking about the Baltimore Ravens schedule. So, as you may know, this team is pretty good. It's been in the playoffs the last 2 years. 2 seasons ago, it was the first seed, got eliminated in the divisional round. Last year, it was the 5th seed, I believe, and it also got eliminated in the divisional round. So pretty good records from both of those seasons. I think this team's really good rushing offense, one of the best in the league, probably is the best. Lamar Jackson's a unique quarterback, one in a lifetime. Talent, maybe like Michael Vick. But, once again, they have a really good rushing offense, a really good defense. And the only thing that concerns me about this team is Lamar Jackson's ability to throw the ball. Mostly because, literally the worst receiving corp, I should say, in the league. Mark Andrews is basically their leading receiver, and he's a tight end, so that says a lot. So let's look at their schedule. It is ranked one of the hardest in the league compared to last year when they had one of the easiest in the league. So as you may know, they play their divisional rivals, Steelers, Browns, Bengals, twice a year, so that's 6 games. They're also playing the AFC West and the NFC North, along with second-place teams from the NFC West, which would be the Rams, I believe. Also from the AFC, so that would be the Dolphins, and the AFC South. Of course, that would be like the Colts or something. So the schedule is pretty hard. Let's look at it. So to open up their schedule, week 1, they play at the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Vegas Raiders have a good opportunity to compete in this game. It is a road game for Baltimore. Baltimore is definitely the better team. There's no doubt about it. Baltimore week 1 of the last couple of seasons has been just dominant. You can't deny that. Their week 1 performances are just insane. So even though this is in Las Vegas, I think Baltimore is definitely going to win this game. The Raiders' defense was pretty bad last year in a lot of aspects, and I just expect them to run all over the Raiders. So that's probably going to happen in week 1, and they're going to get the win. So week 2, the Ravens play at home against the Chiefs. So yes, this game has happened for I think 2 or 3 straight seasons in a row. They have never played each other in the playoffs, but they played each other 3 years in a row, and the Chiefs have won every single time. 2 of those games, I believe, were in Kansas City, and the most recent game last season was in Baltimore, and it was week 3, I believe. So they were playing the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes in September, he basically never loses. I think he's undefeated. And I think the Chiefs, even though this isn't Baltimore, are going to get the win. The Chiefs are just insane. They just outplay the Ravens every time. The Chiefs are just, I don't even, their coaching is so good that they make really good teams look bad. We saw that multiple times last year, especially against the Bills, where they just embarrassed them. The Chiefs are going to win this game. So week 3, the Ravens have their easiest game so far at the Lions. Lions, worst team in the league. Not even going to be a competition. Wouldn't be surprised if, the Ravens won by 50. So give the Ravens the win here. Following week, they play at the Broncos. Beating the Lions by 50 points. It's going to be a big confidence booster after losing to the Chiefs week 2. And, even though the Broncos are hard to beat in Denver, the Broncos aren't that good. We all know that. Their QB situation, it's kind of like in the air. I think they got Teddy Bridgewater, but, wasn't that good last year. And I think the Ravens get the win. Broncos lose, they quiver to the Ravens. And the following week after that, week 5, the Ravens play at home against the Indianapolis Colts. So this is going to be a really good game because this game did happen last year in Indianapolis, but this year it's in Baltimore. So they did play each other last year, and the Ravens won this game without a doubt. They won by 14 and limited the Colts to 10 points. It was relatively earlier in the season, around week 8 or 9. So, it was, the Colts offense wasn't established. But it's going to be a lot different this year. It might be even the same situation because Carson Wentz is at QB. I think the Colts, I think they're a really good team, but I don't think they're going to beat Baltimore in Baltimore. So I'm going to give the Ravens the win again. So the following week, the Ravens play another home game against the Chargers. The Chargers are, I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams compared to last year. They were on a pretty good run at the end of the year. If you watch, they won a lot of games in a row. I think the Chargers actually give the Ravens a really big battle right here. And I think this is going to be a close game. But once again, you got to pick the Ravens in this matchup. It's at home. The Ravens really only lose to the Steelers, the Titans, and the Chiefs at home. No one else. Literally, that's it. And Ravens are probably going to get the win here. So the following week, the Ravens once again have a home game. One of the easiest home games of their season against the Bengals. The Bengals never play the Ravens well. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. It is what it is. Give me the Ravens by 30 points. The week after that, the Ravens have a bye week. And the week after that, they have another home game. So the Ravens, week 5, 6, and 7 have a home game. Week 8, they have a bye. And week 9, they have another home game. They're at home for 5 weeks in a row. I've never seen more favoritism in, a schedule in my life. So, yeah, that's pretty lucky. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's pretty stupid. So, the Ravens have another home game against the Vikings. Lucky them. They've been at home for 5 weeks in a row. I think the Ravens win this game without a doubt. The Vikings are probably going to score 20 points. The Ravens are probably going to score 34. So the week after that, they finally have a road game, and it's at the Miami Dolphins. So, as you may know, the Ravens just destroy the Dolphins whenever they play each other. It's embarrassing. Two completely different teams, I would say, compared to the last time that, the Ravens played them. But still, the Ravens destroy the Dolphins every single time. Dolphins defense has gotten a lot better since the Ravens have just absolutely manhandled. I think they lost a little by 50 points. I think the Dolphins are going to give them a competition this game. By the end of the day, the Ravens win this game by 10, maybe 20 points. And the week after that, they have another road game in a row. And it is at the Chicago Bears. So, at this point in time, the Ravens are on a tear. They're 9-1. I said their schedule is hard. It's ranked one of the hardest off of the winning percentage of every team's performances last year. I think it's ranked the second hardest in the league. And all those teams were pretty easy. So let's get into the hard teams. So the Ravens play at the Bears after they beat the Dolphins. So yeah, this team, I think the Bears are going to be one of the dark horse teams of the league next year. No one's, thinking they're going to, make the playoffs because of Justin Fields. But the Bears defense is insane. It carried them to the playoffs. And I think Justin Fields might have the ability to carry this team offensively. Their wide receiver core ain't bad. David Montgomery just got better last year. It's getting better every season. I think the Bears win at home and beat the Ravens. This might be an upset to some of you, but I think the Bears are favored. The following week, they play the Browns at home. One of those games last year was one of the best of the year where they played in Cleveland. Each team scored over 40. And Lamar, he had to go to the bathroom in the fourth quarter. Comes out of nowhere. Throws a touchdown to Marquise Brown. That was a good game. So I think, the Browns never win in Baltimore. They haven't won there, I don't even know, maybe 20 years probably. So even though I'm joking, I'm not even sure it's a joke. I think the Ravens, have a really tough competition in this game, but win this game by 10 points, maybe even 3. The following week, they play at the Steelers. And I do believe this is going to be a pretty good game. You know, the Steelers have, Ben Roethlisberger, I should say, has never lost to Lamar Jackson. Is that a trend? Maybe so. Lamar Jackson, he plays his worst performances against the Steelers defense. We saw last year in Baltimore where he was just abysmal. Their second half in that Baltimore game was decent, but Ben Roethlisberger gets the best of Lamar. I think it happens again. Give the Steelers the win in Pittsburgh. The week after that, they play at the Browns. I think the Browns get their revenge in this game, much needed revenge, and the Browns get the win. There's really nothing else to say. Both these teams are very similar. Maybe Baker Mayfield's a better QB passing-wise, but both teams really good at rushing the football. They got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb for Cleveland, really, really good at rushing the football. Their defenses are pretty good each. Myles Garrett, they got Jadeveon Clowney. Browns might be a little bit scary next year, and they get the win at home against Baltimore. So the following week, they play the Packers at home. So like I said, the second half of their schedule looks pretty hard. All these teams have made, ever since the Vikings game, after that, every single team was a playoff team last year, except the Dolphins, but they went 10-6, I think. So it's getting harder. They play the Packers, but honestly, I think if Aaron Rodgers is playing, Packers win. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers is returning to Green Bay. I think this is an easy win, and the Baltimore Ravens literally destroy the Packers. I honestly think Jordan Love's playing in this game. I'm not even joking. So the week after that, they play at the Bengals, first team in a long time with a losing record from last year, and they destroy the Bengals. What else am I going to say? So the following week after that, week 17, they play their newly added week 17 matchup, 17th game, and this is against the Rams. So this is at home, but I do think the Rams are going to be better than the Ravens next year. The Rams defense, I think, was the best in the league last year. Pittsburgh was second. Baltimore was third. Rams definitely the best defense in the league, okay? Their rushing offense, it was kind of bad. And their, passing game was kind of bad. But what do? They get Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford's going to ball out for the Rams next year. And the Rams are going to be one of the best teams in the league. And they get the win on the road against Baltimore, giving the Ravens their second home loss of their season. The first, of course, against the Chiefs. And weeks 18, last game of the year, they play the Steelers at home. So, honestly, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm going to say it right now. I think the Steelers win this game. But for the sake of, insanity for the viewership, I'm going to say the Ravens win. Even though, Steelers are going to win in this game. The Ravens, they probably going to win this game. They had a home, 2 home games in a row. The Ravens, they need this win. They need it because the AFC North is competitive. The Steelers or Browns might have a better record or the same record at this point in time. So this is definitely this could be for the AFC North, no joke. I think the Steelers are going to win, but I also think the Ravens are going to win. And I'm just going to give the Ravens the win even though the Steelers are going to win this game. I'm going to say it right now. So that's it. I think the Ravens finished their season 12-5, losing to the Chiefs, Bears, Steelers, Browns, and Rams. 3 of those were road games and 2 were at home. Ravens are a pretty good team. If Lamar Jackson is struggling, this team doesn't win games. We saw it last year where the Ravens were losing games because Lamar Jackson was performing well. Also had COVID or something like that. But, if Lamar Jackson is predictable, like I said, defenses predict his movement. If they predict his escaping from the pocket, rushing for yards, if they predict that, the Ravens don't win. We saw that a couple times last year, and they didn't win the games. So if any team predicts Lamar Jackson, it's over. I've said this a year ago. I'll say it again. And that's it. Ravens go 12-5. Maybe they get first, second, or third in their division. Thanks for watching. Adios.